Top 10 war movies on Netflix. War builds countries as much as it destroys them, ranging from purely violent to introspectively profound. These films all have something to say about the way the modern geopolitical world was formed. Hey guys, welcome to your entertainment channel Netflix Tops, where we will tell you about the top-rated movies and series on Netflix. So grab your popcorn and stay with us until the end of this video, because today's video is going to list down the top 10 war movies on Netflix. So let's get started. Number 10. Inglourious Basterds. A beautifully filmed and darkly hilarious satire of World War II. One of the best Quentin Tarantino movies, follows his usual path in which he alters history to his liking, pleasing the audiences in ways history could not. When a squad of Jewish Americans voluntarily enlist under the command of Lieutenant Aldo Raine, Brad Pitt, they take on the hardened battle tactics of the Apache warriors, showing no mercy and taking scalps as trophies of war. The movie Inglourious Basterds is driven by an unbeatable script and the ways the actors adapt to it, most notably Christoph Waltz, who portrays a terrifyingly charming SS commander who goes by the name the Jew Hunter because of his horrifying exploits. Number 9. The Five Bloods. Exploding with historical references, directorial flourishes, and flashes of combat action, Spike Lee's winningly spry war epic The Five Bloods is a movie that embraces the inherent messiness of its subject matter. At first, the story sounds simple enough. Four elderly black veterans, each with their own personal trials and tribulations, return to Vietnam to recover the remains of their beloved squad leader, Norman Chadwick Boseman, and search for a shipment of gold they buried in the jungle decades ago. But Lee, pushing the movie in sharply funny and emotionally fraught directions depending on the demands of the scenes, refuses to approach the treasure of the Sierra Madre-like setup in a straightforward manner. Instead, the movie pings between the MAGA hat-speckled present and the bullet-ridden past, using his older actors in the flashbacks as their younger selves to underline the inherent strangeness of time's passage. While some of the detours might test your patience, particularly once the men discover the gold and start arguing over what to do with it, the powerful ending, which becomes a moving showcase of the great Delroy Lindo, makes this a long journey worth embarking on. Number 8. Extraction. Tossing aside Thor's massive hammer and trimming his gnarly Avengers Endgame beard, Chris Hemsworth picks up an assault rifle and gets to work in Extraction, a Netflix shoot-'em-up that reteams the Australian actor with his former Marvel filmmaking buddies Joe and Anthony Russo, who produced the project, while Hemsworth's gun-toting commando protagonist Tyler Rake, yes, that's his name, lacks comic book superpowers and Norse god strength. He can take a beating and keep fighting, a quality that serves him well as he rescues and protects the child of an Indian drug kingpin in this slick, propulsive thriller. Number 7. First They Killed My Father. Few Hollywood movies have detailed the horrors of Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge's rise to power in Cambodia in 1975. The genocidal revolutionary movement isn't exactly the backdrop for the next Titanic, but Angelina Jolie, who developed a close connection to the country when she first visited during the shoot for Tomb Raider, brings the gloss of big-budget movies to this horrifying but tender adaptation of Long Ung's memoir of the same name. Like Spielberg's Empire of the Sun, First They Killed My Father tracks the Cambodian diaspora from city living to makeshift military-run farm communes, all from the perspective of a 7-year-old Lao. Jolie rarely wavers, witnessing violence from down low and leaving reality behind in moments of escapism. First They Killed My Father is a little too picture-perfect considering the grime of life under Pol Pot, but Jolie pours her heart into telling the story, and it shows. Angelina Jolie directed this drama based on the true story of Cambodian human rights activist Long Ung's childhood experience living under Khmer Rouge rule in the 1970s, during which her family was forced into labor camps by the communist regime. Number 6. The Guns of Navarone. Among the big epic World War II movies made toward the end of the 50s and the beginning of the 60s, J. Lee Thompson's The Guns of Navarone doesn't quite have the same name recognition as The Bridge on the River Kwai or The Great Escape. But this 2-hour-plus adventure, which Quentin Tarantino drew on when he made his own bullet-ridden Nazi fighting film with Inglourious Basterds, it's certainly worth suiting up for. Based on a novel by When Eagles Dare author Alistair MacLean, The Guns of Navarone follows Gregory Peck's Captain Keith Mallory as he leads a team of men on a dangerous mission to take out German Command Center. As you'd guess, plenty of fighting ensues. Number 5. Les Miserables. Tom Hooper's adaptation of Les Miserables is a glorious spectacle in bringing stage to screen, one that's earnestly flooded with emotion. Set against the anti-monarchist June Rebellion of 1832, the epic follows the redemption story of Jean Valjean, Hugh Jackman, who was imprisoned for stealing bread and, once freed, volunteers to look after the daughter of a factory worker, Anne Hathaway, as he continues to run from the ruthless officer, Javette, Russell Crowe, after breaking parole. Even those who roll their eyes at musicals, particularly sung-through ones, will be impressed by this explosive period piece and each member of its scene-stealing ensemble. It's a blockbuster through and through. Number 4. The Patriot. God Bless America. Ronald Emmerich's Revolutionary War film may not be the most historically accurate, but he manages to turn the moment that's taught in every history classroom year after year into a blockbuster that's melodramatic and red-blooded. The film The Patriot stars Mel Gibson as a colonist who joins the war after his son, Heath Ledger, ends up caught in the fighting. If you're looking for Hollywood's grandest take on the dawn of the country, this is it. Number 3. The Siege of Jadotville. Based on Declan Powers' book, The Siege of Jadotville, The Irish Army's Forgotten Battle, this war drama tells the story of an Irish Army unit's 1961 UN peacekeeping mission in the Congo. The Richie Smith-directed film gained acclaim within the Irish festival circuit. Do not look at this Netflix original movie for a compelling examination of the Irish military's 1961 effort to hold strong against an incursion from the recently seceded state of Katanaga. The Congolese war conflict is well documented in historical documents. Do look to the Siege of Jadotville for visceral action cut from the classic Man on a Mission cloth. 50 Shades of Grey and The Fall star Jamie Dornan is a regular Gary Cooper as the leader of this unprepared crew, and his work in the heat of battle makes this movie part throwback, part direct-to-DVD style spectacle. Number 2. Triple Frontier. J.C. Chander, the filmmaker behind the tense finance drama Margin Call and the 80s crime saga A Most Violent Year, directs an outstanding ensemble cast in this action thriller Triple Frontier. The burly squad of ex-military commandos, pulled together by Oscar Isaac's Santiago Garcia, a private contractor overseeing deadly drug enforcement operations in Colombia, is a ragtag team of action movie archetypes. There's the sad, real estate selling divorced dad who looks like he'd rather be vaping, Ben Affleck. The noble, buff warrior stuck giving rot speeches about his past glories, Charlie Hunnam. The taciturn, hat-wearing helicopter pilot that filmmakers didn't bother outfitting with a backstory, Pedro Pascal, and the other dude, Garrett Hedlund, who does amateur MMA fights. Together, they decide to rob a drug kingpin hiding out in the South American jungle, but obviously things don't always go according to plan. Number 1. War Machine. Not every war film has to be a depressing tale. War Machine, for one, is a satirical look at power-hungry personalities in the military and politics. In the Netflix original, Brad Pitt stars as overly proud General Glenn McMahon, tasked with cleaning up the situation in Afghanistan, despite working with a team of uninterested, exhausted soldiers and politicians who just want to get the hell out of there. As unfunny the endless war in Afghanistan is, War Machine does a snarky job of illustrating the ridiculousness of the 8-year-long war in a country from which the United States has yet to fully withdraw to this day. Brad Pitt plays a tough but wacky U.S. general who is sent to Afghanistan to clean up the military mess following 8 years of war. Surrounded by exhausted and disillusioned soldiers, he finds himself up against bureaucratic obstacles in this dark war comedy. And this brings us to the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for amazing movie reviews coming your way, and thank you for watching.